Alright, so I got the new drive shaft in. It's actually a used one from another CRD. It looked a little bit worse than this other one. I cleaned it up, I painted it. So this is what's left of the old one. This is one piece. And that's the other piece, or really what's left of it, up there. And you can see there's a couple bearings missing. You can see right in it, you can see there's dirt and all kinds of shit. So I'm going to remove this broken piece, and then I'll be ready to put the new drive shaft in. So I'm removing the broken end of the drive shaft, and I have all the bolts loose, except for this one over here, which has this bit of metal that's sticking over it. So what I'm just going to take some vice grips and just bend that metal back. Alright, so I broke all 6 of these bolts loose, very tight, working in this space with this normal size 3/8 ratchet. Now what I'm going to do is I have a short 3/8 ratchet, so I'm going to switch to that. Otherwise, if you were in this situation, you could just get away with using like a 1/4 inch drive. It should fit in there fine. Wrench would get in there now. I have a ratcheting closed end wrench that would fit on here. I could use that if I wanted to, but it is kind of long. So I'm just going to switch that short ratchet and just use that in order to remove these bolts now that I've broken them loose. So now I got this small 3/8 ratchet short handle, so at least I have enough clearance here to work. You can see this is spinning it. I was able to just hold it with one hand and break these loose, but if that doesn't work for you, there's some holes here on the back side. You could put like a screwdriver or something in there and jam it in and wedge that against something to keep this from spinning. But I'm not having any issues like that. I just need 2 hands here to work. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to remove all 6 of these bolts, and then I'll be able to remove this broken transfer case side, the smaller of the 2 CV joints. This is the side I was told that usually breaks. I spoke to a drive shaft expert and he said that the front side rarely ever fails. He's never actually seen one, but these rears, they do quite often. I'm just going to remove these bolts now and I'll pause the video. Alright, so I got all 6 of those bolts out. Now I'm going to have to break this loose. So what I'm doing is I'm just tapping on this at an angle here with this screwdriver. See if I can focus this with this screwdriver. And just a dead blow hammer. And I'm just separating it from the transfer case. I don't know if you can see that. Just going this way, and I'm alternating different sides. Alright, so I just lightly tapped on it. It's very, very lightly. Alternated to the next side, and it fell right off. So now that that's out of the way, I'm just going to clean up a little bit around here. So I cleaned up both surfaces that the new drive shaft is going to go into. They were quite dirty. There's a bit of mud and rust and stuff like that, so I cleaned it up. In order to get the drive shaft aligned, I did this rear end of it first. I just stuck one of the bolts through one of those holes. I kept moving the yoke around, connected to the transfer case over here. I kept moving that piece around until I felt the bolt catch the hole. Started to tighten that, did the opposite side. Then once I had those 2 bolts tightened, I came over here to this side, and then I did the same thing. I just applied pressure to one of these bolts, and then I kept moving this piece until I felt the end of the bolt catch the hole, and then I just made it finger tight, and then again I tightened these in an alternating start pattern. There's the new drive shaft installed.